Good evening, and welcome again to the One Take Livecast. Tonight's episode, we are joined by Nancy Doll, singer of the band The Sex Pistols. We shall be talking about, of course, music, how it all started, where it all went, how's it going, and all that. I'll invite her into the Ziggs the Wolf, request to join. As much as I repeat the request will be done by Nancy Doll. So I'll just go and invite her in now. Invitation sent, or they can request to join. No worries. No worries. Okay, invite sent, but also if they're... Hello, good evening.
Hello, Jax. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, you look lovely.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
I tip my
You're
hat to
looking
you.
you're looking pretty gorgeous yourself there with your cap on.
Oh, thank you.
I do like the t-shirt by the way.
I saw it on sale and I was like, oh, I love the Cramps and I love Tales of the
Yeah,
Crypt, so win-win.
win-win, win-win.
Yeah.
So this is quite new to me. So I'm a little podcast virgin.
Oh, you know what? I've gotten so many people who have done this and that, and they've never been on a podcast before. So
Never.
it's crazy.
Oh God, there's people popping up to say hello as well. Hello,
I
everybody.
know,
How
I
you
know.
doing?
You've got a reputation,
Oh, I know it's
a
terrible. It's
bad
really bad.
reputation.
Oh, bad reputation. Bad reputation. Oh. So, what do you want to talk about, Jax?
Well, first off, I would always like to ask my guests of their origins. So first, asking you, Nancy, where did music all start for you, and what made you want to go down this path?
Oh gosh, that's a bit of a, let's try and shorten that story. So really, I come from a bit of a musical family. So my mother's cousin was a drummer in States Quo. He played at Live Aid. My dad was a double bass player and a vocalist as well. My brother's a singer. My older brother. So I kind of grew up with all this musical energy around me. And my mum was into jazz. My dad liked rock and roll. My brother liked the Stones and Cream. My other brother liked the Beastie Boys. So it was just always like different kinds of music that I was growing up around really. And so obviously you can't help but let it take some kind of influence on you, and I just love music, I just love it. Um, and so yeah, I just decided I wanted to somehow make a living. Yeah, I didn't particularly have to be, rich and famous or anything like that, but I just wanted to make a living, a comfortable living from doing something that I love doing, which is what I do. So I think I've achieved that. So for me, I'm really happy. I'm in a really happy place. And to be quite honest, who wants celebrity these days anyway?
I think it's more important to have the passion rather than the fame, and as long as you're having fun with it and you get invited to do tours, gigs, festivals, that's just a blessing and a bonus, really.
God, it is that.
As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. So, when did you wanted to start this Sex Pistols band? You know, bringing all these punk hits together and bringing a formation of great talented women.
Well, really, I went with a friend of mine to see the Sex Pistols Exposed, who are a tribute band to the Sex Pistols. We'd heard they were on in town. Just like, I'll just
Mm.
pop down, go and have a look, go and watch them. And I'll never forget walking into the room and in the Tash in Blackpool, and the crowd was just mental. It was like insane. I remember going to a New Model Army gig when I was 15. I should have been 18. But I was at this New Model Army gig when I was 15, and that was pretty much the same. It was really intense. Everyone in the crowd was so passionate about the songs, the music, and it was a two-way thing, between the actor and the crowd. And when I went there, I was just like the energy was just insane. I ended up in the mosh pit, and I was just letting myself go, and I was like, I want to do a band that, I want to create a good night out. This is my idea of a good night out. So I want to give that to someone else and produce a band that has a crowd like this. Because I'd been in bands before. I'd had an Amy Winehouse tribute band and things like that, and it was great fun. It was really good fun, but it didn't like, it
Click.
didn't get, yeah, it just didn't like grip me, But that kind of music did, punk music did. My dad loved punk music a little bit when he was back in the day. My mum hated it. My mum would like hated the Sex Pistols and anything to do with. But my dad liked it because he could see that it basically stemmed from rock and roll anyway, punk, So it's just a harsher version, like psychobilly is a harsher version of rockabilly, It's that kind of thing.
Well, I love those.
So yeah, I know the meteors and all that, love all that. So yeah, so it just like I just wanted to create a band that had that kind of energy, but I also didn't want to just do the Pistols. Because there was we got back and we started drinking and we were like putting different songs on YouTube and Sham 69, the Buzzcocks, um,
Check out
Talking
their
Heads.
YouTube. Check out their YouTube channel, viewers. Sorry.
Sorry, you just froze then. Check out what did you say?
I told my viewers to check out your YouTube page.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, there's some wonderful video. Some of the mobile loads from the fans on there are quite hilarious, to be honest. But you can have a good laugh at us. We're great fun.
Yeah.
But we're just a nostalgia band, really. We're just a nostalgia band, and that's what I wanted to create. I wanted the cream of the crop of that era of punk and new wave in a set. Um, and we do some Pistol songs as well. We've just put Bodies in, which we're really enjoying playing at the minute because it's quite an angry song, And it's
Yeah.
even now in this era, like now, it's a really taboo subject. Because Bodies was of course written about abortion, and it's quite an aggressive song about abortion. So yeah, I kind of like the fact that this band is now bringing those songs back, and the content in them is by no way sweet. Sweet, it's not. Unfortunately, it's all got a bit too sweet these days.
It's pretty cool. So you said not just Pistol stuff, which I kind of knew that. I mean, it's a very catchy name as well. So we're talking, a lot of, like you said, new wave and punk and everything. So obviously, like stuff like The Clash and the Toy Dolls, along with stuff like New Order or, that sort of new wave stuff as well.
Hmm.
And a bit of Adamant, would you say?
Oh, Adamant. We've not put any Adamant in, but we did see him at the Isle of Wight a few years ago, and he was absolutely amazing. I mean, the
He is.
energy that guy's, he's still got it, he's totally still got it. He had
Yeah.
two drummers as well, which was
Yeah.
insane. They were both really
Yeah.
high, and they were both in sync. Just the
Yeah.
whole visual of it as well. And he was there with his jacket and his stripe, and he like running up and down the stage like insane. He must be what? I think he's about 50 odd now, isn't he? Adamant.
Age is irrelevant.
Oh God, he's insane. He's insane. Really, really
Mhm.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we always get lots of people coming forward and we put this in, will you put that in? So always suggesting songs. Some are horrendous, some are fantastic, and some we've listened to and we have actually put into the set. Basket Case by Green Day was asked for years. Yeah, loads of people's like, I'd love to hear you do Basket Case, but we've banged that one in now for the fans. So yeah, but we do write some stuff as well. We've wrote some original songs, and every now and again we'll just bang one of those out on a gig as well, um, just to shut up all the musical snobs who don't like nostalgia bands, um, which is a bit sad, really. But hey ho.
What's it like to write a song of your own and to play it and then to hear such, positive, cheer, is it very
Oh, it's just
self-gratifying?
hearing people sing the words back. It's You can't quite get past that, can you? Really, it's amazing. Imagine you've written something and everyone's saying it back to you. They've gone away and learned all those words, and you just think, wow, that's amazing. It's brilliant when, especially because the songs we write are like punk songs, so they don't just say them back, they shout them back. So
Mm.
it's a great feeling. You can't beat that. It's like higher than any drug. Not that I've took drugs.
So you said Basket Case as well, and obviously Gears Crest. Are there any like have you ever done like like slow ones as well as fast ones. Like, there's so many slow punk songs as well as fast ones. And
Not really punk. I mean, I'd say like we've done "Creep" by Radiohead.
ooh,
Um, so it's like more. We've done more rock, slow ballads, really.
yeah.
Foo Fighters, "Times Like These," which is what we do. Is we do like the acute. We start it off as an acoustic version,
Mm.
and then it kicks in to the hard version. So it's a really nice version. I saw him do it live, Dave, and I was like, what a brilliant version. It's so, because he can really show his guitar playing off, his vocal, and before everything, kind of kicks in and goes mental. So, yeah, we took that version and decided would run with that version, and it's been really good. That's on YouTube too, if you want to have a listen to that.
Mm. Check it out, viewers.
Thank you.
What if I had to make a request personally? It would be a slow one, but one of my favorite songs, rate it punk or not, but it's from a punk band, would be "Straight to Hell" by The Clash.
Oh, right, okay, The Clash.
Yeah,
Wow, yeah, we'll have to listen to that
it's got a
with the
really
girls.
nice.
It's so we all listen to. I like kind of decide the songs, and then I put them to the girls, and then we'll all collectively decide if we like it or not. So
Mm,
yeah, I'll put that forward. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
We do some Clash songs. Um, we did a nice acoustic version of "I Fought the Law" once, which was quite nice. That turns out really well on acoustic. Funnily enough, "I Fought the Law." Just with a little mandolin playing on it or something like that. It's really cool. So
Would
yeah,
you ever?
cool.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Would
you
you
was
ever?
going to speak.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Would you ever do like, even though it's nice to do the electric loud and sound, but would you ever do a full acoustic set at some venues?
Um, yeah, we did do kind of do that at the 100 Club in London, but we didn't. We did. I think it was about 30 to 35 minutes of an acoustic set, and then we had a little break, and then we came on, and then we did all the hard stuff. Um, it's like the fans that kind of watch us; they want more. They like that, but then they're like, okay, that's the warm up. It's like having a warm up act on. But now we want the real stuff, because they all want to jump around and get sweaty. So that's what they want. Because it's a complete escape, and it's a two-way thing. Many of the girls, as in life, we all have problems and things that we have to deal with. And sometimes you can come to work and you're not feeling it. You're not feeling great. You don't feel you even want to do the gig. You're having a bad day or a bad week. And then you get on stage and it's forgotten, because you're just out there and you're feeling the energy from everybody else. And I like to think that it's the same with people watching the show. If you've got credit card bills or you can't pay your gas bill or whatever it is, tonight's a night where you actually don't have to think about that. And our job is to take your mind off it for an hour and a half. And if we've done that, then job done. That's where I'm at.
Speaking of venues, is there a venue you've been most proud of playing in your neck of the woods?
In my neck of the woods,
Hmm.
uh, where I live or where the,
Yeah.
where the rest of the band are, because what you do
Um,
realize we're
answer
we're
for yourself.
we're like a geographical nightmare because we have two members in London, um, and we have one in Preston, myself in Blackpool, and another girl. I think she's Cambridgeshire now. Yeah, she's Cambridgeshire.
Hmm.
So it's a geographical nightmare to get us all together. Even for rehearsal or anything like that. But in my neck of the woods, I think my favourite venue. Ooh, I would actually say probably Manchester Academy. I really enjoyed. Um, that was really cool. Um, the sound and the lights in there were fantastic. It was like, it just really gets you the sound. It's amazing. So that in my neck of the woods. But I think my favourite venue that I've ever played is the Concord 2 in Brighton, which is right on the beach there. But it's just an amazing venue. Um, Again, an amazing sound system, sound and light engineers that work there do a fantastic job. And yeah, every time I've done a gig there, I've really looked forward to it. And we've done festivals. We've like done the Isle of Wight Festival. Um, we did the main stage at the Isle of Wight Festival,
That was my
and
next question.
that's it's an amazing achievement. But I did personally didn't particularly enjoy it.
Really?
No, and I don't really remember much of it. I've got little photographs and some footage of that I was there, but apparently I was there, but I don't really remember much of the gig, and I didn't enjoy it because obviously you're on such a big stage like this, you have a huge space between the stage and then a barrier, and everyone is just so far away from you. It's so hard to connect. I like to see the whites of people's eyes. I kind of like to get stuck into a crowd. That's where I'm best. Whereas that I was just like on a pedestal far miles away from everybody. So it wasn't a two-way thing.
It didn't
Even
feel
though
organic.
no, no, not at all. And I thought, God, I'm so, for the first time in my life, like, you always want to achieve, get going and performing on big stages like that. That's your goal, isn't it, as an artist? But then actually, when you get there, you're like, it's not all that. And I'm really glad I'm not doing stages like that all the time. But on the other hand, like the second biggest stage is the big top. And I loved every second of that. And I remembered every second of that. That was in like a huge like circus tent. And there was something like 15,000 in front of us in that tent. And it was insane. But it just felt more, I could see people, it was more intense. So yeah, again, and the Hard Rock stage again was an outdoor stage, but slightly smaller than obviously the big main one. But again, it was just more intimate. So and I could get down on the barrier, I could get to the crowds. So it was fantastic, yeah. But main stage for me, no, it just didn't. It didn't cut it. I don't like look back at it and think, wow, it's amazing. But it's a nice one to have on your CV, I suppose.
It's
Um,
down to preference. I mean, at the end of the day, you did what you did there, but if you like somewhere else, that's fine. Everyone is allowed preference and choice. You know.
definitely, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I love I mean, I just love the small, intimate venues because, like, it's just
Yeah.
blood, spit. It's just like drinks. It's like bonkers, It's just like
Yeah.
insane, and everyone's wet, and everyone's just having a really cool time, just let themselves go.
I really hope to experience that if you ever come down to South Wales.
Oh, definitely. We did do Cardiff many years ago, the Globe.
Oh, the
Um,
Globe. Yes, I know the venue.
yeah, yeah, we did the Globe, but they put us on like a Sunday night, and there was
Oh
hardly
no,
anyone there, and I was like, oh no, it's a Sunday night, you know what I mean? But they
we're
wanted
too
us on a Sunday. They were paying us to be there, so we went. But
we're
I
too
can't
full
remember
from
it being
we're too full from
no.
having a Sunday roast. We're too full and tired from that.
Exactly. I mean, I've noticed a lot of people like to go on a Sunday afternoon if they want to watch a bit of entertainment these days, because it means they're home in time for a reasonable hour, because most people have work on a Monday. So
Mm.
yeah, Sunday nights. But we are doing North Wales. We're at the Tivoli, is it? Is that how I pronounce it? In Buckley?
You don't
Tivoli?
have to pronounce it correctly. I'm not, even though I'm Welsh, I'm just not good with pronunciation out. But if you really want to go for it, just add the into it.
Tivoli. Yeah. Buckley. I can't, and I'm not even going to attempt to speak Welsh.
It's the long
Um,
name you have to remember, especially the train station.
no, I don't. No, I don't. You need a half part of phlegm in your mouth to pronounce all of the words, don't you?
Oh yeah, Lanfai Puff Gwyneth go give Quindrobo
All
Nantysilio
right.
Silo go.
I'm impressed.
Oh,
Jax, that's really good. You could put that on a rap.
oh, I'll be corrected for it. Someone who probably says it better than me said, "You didn't say it right."
You see, when I try to talk Welsh, it always comes out like Indian. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's right.
I can understand. Well, when you're in North Wales, they speak more Welsh than English, they do. But when you're in South Wales, we're pretty much very Anglo and everything. So,
Oh, right, okay, all right. I know not. Right, I know not to do that. Don't try and talk Welsh when you're in Wales. Because of course,
yeah,
I don't know if you. I mean, some of the fans that might be have come on now, they'll be like thinking, Nancy Doll, she's like talking like she's from Manchester or something.
no, you're
Because
Blackpool.
or Blackpool, yeah. But I'm originally from Manchester. I'm not actually a Blackpool girl. I'm a fake Blackpool
Oh,
girl.
well, I like
Um,
Manchester.
yeah, I love Manchester. I miss Manchester to be honest. But I had to come over here for work. But when I'm Nancy Doll and I'm on stage and I'm talking to the fans, Nancy talks like this. You know what I'm saying? She's a Cockney, and
Yeah, like
she's
she's from the east
swearing all
or
the
the
time.
south.
she's terrible. She's bleeding horrible. You know what I mean? And
I know,
she took sort of that.
but the Manchester in history, the Manchester punk scene was just great, and there are many great people, that come from Manchester, and the Mancunian accent
Oh
is.
yeah, the
I've
Smiths.
always, I mean,
You
look at
know,
Tyson.
yeah, yeah. This is it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Manchester's steeped in it. In fact,
yeah,
Mancunians and Liverpudlians are always arguing over who has the best musical wealth. You know, so
can't
yeah.
we just share?
I know exactly. We're all Northerners. Come on,
W-
stop it.
yeah, and you're both
Football
red,
started that.
and you're both red.
Football started that. And we're both red, yeah. But yeah, we'll be over in North Wales if anyone fancies getting a little train up there and seeing us in the Tivoli in Buckley. Oh God, when's the date on that? That is on. I've got my list and I can't even read it because I've put something else on top of it. The
That's okay.
24th of March. Sorry about that. 24th of March will be in North Wales, so it'll be nice to see. And if you want to see anywhere else, any of our other tour dates, if you just go on www.sexpistols.co.uk, all the tour dates are up there. So what else do you want to know, Jax?
Well, actually, my next question is: you mentioned that you and the members are from different geographical areas on the map. So, how do you handle rehearsals?
We don't really rehearse very much, um, which I know sounds crazy. Um, we kind of all learn the parts individually. And then if we're throwing new songs in, we'll run through them in sound check, and then they'll literally go in that night. Um, um, if a new member, like we've lost members due to COVID and things like that. Also, one of our ex guitarists is doing really well at the minute. I turned the TV on New Year's Eve and she was on Jules Holland. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So she's doing really well at the minute, one of our ex-members. But yeah, we've lost members over the years to different varying situations, COVID being a big one. Um, so like getting together is just an absolute nightmare. And also when we bring a new member in, then we'll have to rehearse, we'll have to all meet, because we have to bring this new girl in. So we do meet, but it's not very often. I wish we could meet more often, to be honest. Because I'd like to experiment a lot more and like write more material as well. But unfortunately, yeah, geographically, it doesn't allow us to do that. And also, we all have our own projects. We're all in different things as well,
Mm.
musically. So the Dolls is not just our main thing. Much as we'd love it to be, we would actually love to be just doing Dolls full time, all of us. But like all touring bands in the UK, you've got to be doing other stuff. I mean, a lot of musicians have full-time jobs. I mean, I'm very lucky in the sense that I'm a professional at what I do. I earn a living through singing. Um, but unfortunately, I'm not at a level yet where we can just do the Dolls. I've got to do other stuff. Um, and like the other girls, yeah. I mean, I think our drummer's in about four different bands. Um, so yeah, we've all got different stuff to do. So, it's just the way that it is, and it's just unfortunate these days. It's just I feel quite sorry for young bands at the minute because there's not really any platform for them. It's all a bit X Factor, you know, a sob story and a vocal acrobatics, and there's no one's they're kind of encouraging youngsters to pick up a microphone and warble, and I'd rather them pick up an instrument and learn how to play an instrument and be skilled. But for girls in particular, who do they look up to? Like a young lad, he's got so many icons he can look up to.
Mm.
Male guitar, if he's a guitarist, there's Hendrix. The list is endless. But for a young girl picking a guitar up, who does she aspire to be like?
I know it's well, yeah, that's really unfortunate as well. But thankfully, in this day and age, I there's a few now, which is good. Or if they
Yeah,
see you live, that's good. Or if they see this live, like Lizzie Hale is a fine example. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. But what I'm talking about is an all-female band, like on a par
yeah,
to the the Killers or the Stones or that level where
Mm,
they've gone mainstream. They're still cool.
yeah,
Um, it doesn't the last you think about if you go back to all female bands, the Bangles,
yeah. The Runaways,
Runaways. There has been, but they've never gone
maybe.
global, like to a global level. And I just
Yeah,
think it's happening with the football, with the Lionesses, and they've done us proud, and they've shown that girls can knock a ball about and give give it welly, and
yeah,
give it what for and succeed, and that's coming through now, and it's brilliant, and hopefully that will mushroom, and that will happen in all other countries. But I do still think there's a way to go in the music industry. For women, and I'm not a feminist, by the way. I'm certainly not a feminist. I believe in rights for women, but I'm
mm,
not a strong feminist. I think that's also gone too far the other way.
yeah. No, but I agree.
Um,
You know, I agree. In the music scene, it is pretty much in the rock scene. You know, in various things, it has mostly, majority wise, been male,
yeah,
and
and
and it's unfortunate, you know, because back then, men used to. Someone commented Spice Girls. Yeah, yeah, Spice Girls. But not,
yeah,
we're
this is.
not.
I was just gonna. I was actually. I was like thinking segue here because I'm gonna lead you on to that exactly what's going on there with the Spice Girls. So like when we first started this band, it was like a committed murder. Like we've done the worst thing ever in the entire world. We offended so many male musicians. We have so many punks and these skinheads and these nasty people. A lot of them actually racist, just bigoted types of people. Because
Mm,
I actually went onto some of these profiles and had a look at these people, and they were just not nice people. They've just got not got really anything nice to say about anybody. So you give them, you're giving them the olive branch to come and have a criticism, and they obviously love it. And
yeah.
I think some of them like bringing the attention to themselves as well.
Mm,
It's a little bit sad. It's a little bit of mental health going on, and we've seen it all online.
yeah.
Mental health playing out on people with people's comments. But I mean, there was some really nasty stuff in particular. Like someone sent me a death threat, and
Oh
said they
no.
wanted to murder me and do my kids a favor, and they would be in a long line of people that wanted to do the same. Um, Peter think comments about my best friend Jill, who's at Jilly Idol, the bass player, wonderful girl, super talented. People like you're emaciated, you're a smackhead, you shouldn't be playing guitar, you should be ironing in the kitchen, and
Patriarch.
absolutely
I call.
disgusting shit.
I call them patriarchal pissheads, really, because pissheads, because these patriarchal pissheads. It's this stupid thing they invented called emas. I'm going to go on a tangent here. It's this stupid thing called
Great.
emasculization. Whoever invented that was a total tosser. I mean, what is wrong if a woman picks up a guitar, kicks a ball in a goal, or I don't know, all that? And what is wrong if they do that? Where does it say in some shit-headed written book that they can't do that? Like, oh, a woman's place is in the kitchen, mate. The kitchen is where all the knives are. So shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
shut the
You
fuck
know.
up.
I mean,
I think men need to sometimes just sit in a woman's shoes. Like, it's not
yeah,
so bad now. It's not so bad now. This is a lot better now. But for me personally, as a child growing up, when I was a young girl, I had two older brothers and a younger sister. My younger sister wanted to play with dolls, and I wanted to do the stuff that my brothers was doing, and I wasn't allowed to because I was a girl.
oh,
And I was like, why? Like, can I not just have a go then? No, and it's just so you've just got to imagine if you're a man, if that someone told you can't do something just because of what sex you are. So when you've grown up with that,
yeah,
but you don't want you don't want to. You just got to be careful. You don't want to be
mm,
throwing it too hard the other way either, because you know I also I like men that stand up for themselves. I don't want. You know what I mean? I like a man that stands up to a woman, and I like a woman that stands up to a man equally. And to me, it's tipping a little bit too far. It's not balanced. The balance is not right.
no, I don't think there needs to be like one bigger than the other. I mean, why can't we just be the same? Why can't
Yeah,
we
there's
just,
there's too many women shouting out women's rights, and the men haters clearly. I don't know why that is. Maybe
I just,
something happened to them. I don't know, but there's no need for that. We're all human, and we should all love each other, no
in
matter
the
what
words of the
color, what race we are. Doesn't
in the
matter.
words in the words of the Beatles, let it be.
Let it be. Absolutely,
Yeah, I
totally.
mean, and that's what you said. I mean, punk music is a fine example. I mean, the bands over the years, most of them have written about, politics. Most of them have written about rights. Most of them have written about, they've got something to say, and because it's hard for them to express it by talking, they decide to express it louder, shoutier, and with
Yeah,
a fucking microphone in their hand. So,
yeah,
when you're singing, let's say you've had you've got a gig tonight, but you've had one of those days where you just feel like you've been pushed around. You just feel like, oh, I'm angry, but I don't want to be a knob about it. So you're going to grab
yeah.
your microphone, you're going to sing those songs you relate to. And is there a catharsis to that when you do that at a gig?
Oh God, yeah, definitely. I mean, for me in particular, when I first started the band, I was having a particularly turbulent time, and Nancy was created on a lot of anger and a lot of upset and a lot of pain. Um, Thankfully, I'm in a much better place now and feel a lot happier in my life. But yeah, she was built on pain and anger and a lot of rawness. And I do remember some of those earlier gigs, especially when we were getting this knockback from punks. I mean, I remember a gig in particular in Reading. And funny enough, we've agreed to go back there. I'm like, what we're thinking, but it's okay now because I'm a bit more of a warrior these days, and I know how to handle it. But back in the day when we first did Reading, and we're getting attacked online by these people, and they said they were going to come to Reading, and we know you can't play. We're just going to come for a laugh, and they did. There was about 20 punks that turned up at this gig, and they were like circling like eagles at the front of the stage, and one of them grabbed my mic stand when I was singing, and it's got an iron base. It's really fucking heavy.
Mm.
Like, so I just rammed it into him like that. And then he's looking at the bouncer, like, she's hit me. And he's like, well, you
You
started it,
started it.
Yeah, and it was really weird because from that point onwards, it changed. And they were all pogoing. And then at the end of the gig, they were like, we've bought a t-shirt, Nancy, will you sign my t-shirt? Can we have a picture? We managed to like turn them around and they
Mm.
loved the gig, but initially they were coming to that gig to take the piss, and we had a lot of that early doors. So before I went on stage, I was like really red. I was like on defense,
Mm.
so I was pretty manic, to be honest with you. In fact, I was laughing with Violet the Cannibal, our drummer, on the other gig. I was like, I don't know if I can be angry anymore. I'm not as angry as I used to be. I don't know if I can do this. And then just before I went on stage, she said to me, Nancy, you've got a parking ticket on your car. And I was like, you're fucking joking. No, 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 no. And then I go on stage and I'm mad because of this parking ticket. But it wasn't true. She made up this lie. So I was angry before I went on stage. It was quite funny. So I've got to get her back for that, by the way. I haven't forgotten Violet. I remember. I don't know what.
Put a
Maybe she.
tomato on a drummer's chair.
Yeah, yeah.
Put a tomato on a drum, or a custard pie, and Tiz was her or something.
I'm gonna do something. She's definitely having it. She thinks she's funny. I'll tell you. I'll come up with something.
Obviously, you've been here and there, and you've mentioned, the Manchester and you and everything, and obviously you're on tour and you're playing Wales and things. Everything. What's a gig in? I'm going to ask this, but what's a gig in Scotland like?
Oh God, yeah. We did Aberdeen, Glasgow, Edinburgh. We did like a little mini tour of Scotland. Oh, I loved it. Really enjoyed it. Glasgow in particular was really good. We did the O2 there, and then also Inverness, the Ironworks, is it? I think it's called in Inverness, right at the top up there. And what a fantastic venue that was! It was amazing. It was a great venue. Yeah, we have good memories of Scotland. We'd like to come back to Scotland. Why? Why are you saying Scotland? Are you Scottish?
Nothing. I'm just asking because you mentioned Wales and we've talked about England, so you
Okay.
know,
We've done
it's
Ireland as well, actually.
uh,
Done
yeah,
Belfast and Dublin.
yeah,
I have to say I enjoyed Belfast much more. But I enjoy Belfast as a city much more than I enjoy Dublin anyway. Because
yeah.
Dublin's like so expensive. It's really commercialised
Mm.
now, Dublin, and
Try
Belfast just
Cork.
Belfast had more heart to it, you know.
Yeah. Try Cork.
Cork. Oh,
Yeah,
I must go to Sligo actually. I've got friends out there, and they keep asking me to go over. I've never been there either. Apparently, it's quite nice.
sing Jailbreak.
Jailbreak.
Yeah. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak.
So anyway,
Yeah,
has our Spice Girls fan gone?
yeah. I think they were just trying to be funny, and and I just shook my head and went, whatever,
Yeah,
and everything.
it was an ongoing joke. We were called the Spice Girls for a while. I was like, what? What? Like they didn't play instruments. What you on about?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and they were put together by producers. This is the thing. Back to the earlier subject. When it comes to bands that happen to be female, I mean, they know each other. They have the ideas together. When it comes to like bands, like I mentioned, Spice Girls, they were put together by
Yeah,
producers.
but
Not
that's the
just people.
same really with this band. Is this band
Yeah.
we weren't friends. We didn't meet like that. We
Really?
did all this. Yeah, I mean, me and my friend had the concept, and then we thought, right, we'll put. Originally, it was a four-piece band. There's just one guitarist.
Hmm.
Um, well, this is quite a funny story actually. So the very first gig that we ever did was in Blackpool. It was at a venue called the Leighton, which is about 400 capacity room. So we didn't actually. We just had the idea about having an all-female punk band, and at the minute there was only me. There was just me. There was no other members. So it's like, right, we need drums, we need bass guitarist, and we're gonna have guitarists. So we'll put adverts out there for female, da 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 da. And it was really difficult to locate female musicians, some in particular guitarists and drummers in the north. Um, and we'd get people like applying, like I'm a drummer, I live in the north, but I've got no car. Like, how are you going to get your drum kit to a gig then? You know, it's like craziness and stuff like that. And then you get people, we get lots of time wasters, you know, like people wasting our time.
Yeah.
So I had to venture further out into the country to locate female musicians that were a good level, you know, not beginner. Like, you get someone like plays 3 chords, giving an audition,
Knows
you
the
know.
song and knows it.
Exactly. I need people to be doing like, steaming on guitar strings, especially playing like some of the punk and stuff. They've got to be really good. Punk's underrated. People think it's really easy 3 chord music, and some of it really is not.
You're not just
Especially,
whacking strings.
I mean, if you look at if you want to go into real stuff, go into the Dead Kennedys.
Yeah,
Some of the guitar work on that is just insane. The
yeah.
girls love playing the Dead. They love playing the Dead Kennedys.
Great
They just
band.
feel like they can get the teeth into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we just had the idea, and I remember we put the first poster we had was just 4 girls with bandages wrapped around their faces to be revealed. And it's like it was to be revealed because we didn't fucking have a band at that point. We just had a concept. So anyway, we eventually get all these band members on, and the very first guitarist, when she showed up at soundcheck at Blackpool, I said, "Oh, we'll go through Echo Beach." All right, and she starts playing Echo Beach, and she does the solo, and it sounds nothing like it. So I'm like, "Stop, stop, stop!" And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "That's not Echo Beach, what you've just played." And she's like, "Yes, it is Echo Beach." She was French. "It is Echo Beach. I learned this." I said, "It's not. Play it again." And I said, "You've not learned it, have you?" And she said, "Oh, well, maybe I did not have much time." I said, "Right, okay, so we've got 24 songs. How many songs do you know and how many do you not know?" And she said, I know about 12." And the show it was a 400 capacity venue and it sold out. And I had a lot of male musician friends come in, who respected what I'd done previous to this and were like, "Oh, right, this will be cool." And so I had people that I felt I had to impress and pull this off. So, like, I just went mental. I completely lost it. I just, like, I properly skitzed at this girl. I was like, You're unprepared, you're letting everybody down." Um, And then Jill, the bass player, said, "Oh, like Nigel, my husband," she said, "because I've been learning bass, he's learned all the guitar parts because we've been doing it together because he's been helping me learn the bass parts. He knows the set." So I was like, right, genius. So we get Nigel and we put him behind the curtain and we cut a little hole in the curtain so he can see. Because I tell him I'm going to raise my hand when the song's ending so he can see when the song's coming to an end to finish. So
Ah, that's
yeah,
clever.
so we put a little hole in the curtain so he can watch. But he was behind the curtain. We put a monitor there for him, and and basically she had to mime, all these songs that she didn't know, and he was actually playing. So that was our first gig. It was a complete fake, to be honest. We completely faked it. But at the end of the day, we'd sold out. I had no choice but to do that.
And
Um,
look at the band
I
now.
will, I will reassure you that's only ever happened on one gig. It's never happened again. And then what happened was we turned into a five-piece because I'd realised that when Nigel was playing and she was playing on the one she'd learned, the both of the guitars was a really nice thick sound, and I really enjoyed that sound. So then I thought, well, it'll be a five-piece. So yeah, that was the first gig. It was pretty scary, yeah, to say the
And
least.
what was the last gig most recently like for you all?
Um, that was at the Water Rats at London. Um, and that was when was that? January the 6th. That was really good fun as well. It was good. We had a lovely girl supporting us called Georgia Crandon, and she's from London, and she had a great band. Sorry, I'm just moving my chair.
It's all right. I've been having chair things as well. Got lumpy pillows.
Yeah, we did the Water Rats in London. That was really good fun. And then the next one we're at is Somerset. That's a musical, like a 70s weekender, at a big holiday park down in Somerset, and that's on the 17th of March.
Nice.
And then over to Wales, North Wales.
Yeah.
So that'd be good. We've got some nice support bands as well this year. Very interesting support bands. You have to kind of like dig out support bands. You get lots of people applying to be support bands, and it's really nice, but some of them are really terrible.
Do you like
You
having
know,
ones that sort supporting you that sort of have the same niche as you? Like, you do
not
this sort of thing.
necessarily, not necessarily. I just like something that's a bit different, and there's a lot of excuse the French, cock rock bands. It's just very, it's just, you know, and I just like something a bit different, and I try my best to locate that or have an inspiration onto that because sometimes the venues want to choose a support band, so sometimes I don't always have a say in it, but if I do,
Mm.
I do try and push people that I do like.
What's a band recently you've listened to and you've gone, "Ooh, I like them. Let's have them on with us, or let's meet up with them someday."
Do you know who I really like at the minute? I'm sorry, they're a band that's actually supported us, and they're called Thea. So it's Theia.
Okay.
They're really good. I really like what they do. They're really interesting and they're highly entertaining as well. And they are supporting us. I think in Cannock this year, they are supporting us again. So yeah, they're really interesting. And I would have loved. I mean, I'm a bit sad this week because um, I'm a massive fan of a band that's supported us called the Novatones.
Hmm.
And this week, the lead singer's just left, and I'm quite upset about it. Um, and it's because of the cost of living and everything. It's like COVID and then the cost of living. It's really battered this band, and they've lost all heart. And he's lost all heart, and he writes really good music. They're an amazing originals band, and yeah, I'm hoping that he might have a change of heart, but I don't know. It's quite sad. But this is what's happening. We've lost so many great bands and musicians, through COVID, and now with this cost of living, it's so difficult. It's
Mm.
so difficult for us out there, us musicians. So if you can go and go and watch a local band, you know, go and support your live music, do it. Don't go
Yeah,
and buy a ticket for
support your grassroots.
Ed Ginger Bollocks or Madonna who's charging 180 quid a ticket, or you know, they've got enough money. Stop it, you know? Go and support the people that like.
Support your grassroots.
Well, it's not just that. Like, I love Madonna. I've always been a Madonna fan, but like, she's lost touch. She's not in touch with it anymore. She's too in another world. She's in a bubble. She's lost touch with herself, you know? When she was younger, it wasn't just about her being younger, it was about where she was from. She was from the streets of New York. She was raw. You know, she had that live energy about her, and she's just
Mm.
lost that now for me. And that's what happens. They lose the passion. Whereas us that are still striving, you know, we've still got that passion. We're hungry for it, you know? So that's, to me, that's what you need to go and see.
Yeah, I'd love, I've seen so many bands that have given the passion, new and still bringing it back. And as like I said, as long as you got the passion, that's the one thing. And hopefully to be lucky enough to see you all
Yeah,
one
there's some
day.
great, you know, at the end of the day, we're just a covers band. We are just a covers band. We're great fun. And
Yeah,
I'll guarantee, I promise you, if you come and watch us, you'll have a great night out
yeah. Well,
because
you're a cover.
it's just the energy in the room. It's
Mm.
great. And it's like a mutual thing.
Yeah,
If you want to be a part of something and make some new friends, you know, some of our fans, they've all made friends with each other. You know, they'll all meet up beforehand, before a gig, and have eat together and drink together before they even go to the gig, you know, and they all know each other. So you meet lots of friends as well, and they're all thoroughly really nice people. Really, really nice people. I mean, there was a guy once that came watching our shows. You know, he was homeless, and all the fans used to help him and give him money and buy him drinks, you know, make sure he was all right. You know, it was so sweet. So one thing will be guaranteed, you know, you can turn up at a Dolls gig on your own, but you won't leave alone. You'll have made friends, you know, that's what's really cool about it. So yeah, we're just a cover band, with a few
but you add
original
your own
tracks in
niche to
there.
it.
But yeah, we kind of put a Dolls twist on it.
Yeah,
So we're a lot, you know, we do a lot of the songs a lot faster than the original tracks.
yeah.
And some of the guitarists like Lucy, God bless her, Kitty Vacant, you know, she adds her own little twangs on there and just makes it her own a little bit. So
Mm.
they all do their own little spin on it, you know, the way they learn those songs, and then you know,
So do you.
I put the vocal on it at the end, and hopefully it all comes together, and usually it does, you know. So
Mm.
we're very lucky.
Well, that's just marvelous. I mean, that's good. I mean, like you said, and this is for any cover band on there. I've seen cover bands, but they do put their own niche on. And it's nice that, because even though art is imitation, it is nice to put your own sort of thing on it because
Yeah,
it
definitely.
makes you you. And I think that's
Well, and I
important.
think also like it's like when I was younger, when I was like 18, 19, there was a scene you could go to. There was a goth scene, there was a punk scene, there was a new wave scene, there was different scenes. If you weren't into Bros or that shit, there was something else. And I just think at the moment there's nothing like for people that don't want to do that twerking shit and R&B, you know, that's just bling, 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 you know. And I don't mind R&B and I don't mind rap. Like, I'm a massive fan of Public Enemy. I'm a massive fan of Run DMC,
Yeah,
Beastie Boys.
boy.
It's from the streets, born from the street, and it's raw and it's
Yeah,
real. This stuff now is driving around in cars with a Rolex and that, five women in a bikini on my bonnet, and it's just look what I've got, look what I've
yeah.
got, and it creates envy for these young people, and it's not achievable. It's not achievable. So
That,
you could be like him from Run
yeah,
DMC. You could be like him from Beastie Boys. He's just walking on the street and he's going into
yeah,
Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, like these guys that are swanning around in Rolls Royces with, it's
yeah,
just insane. It's not achievable. And unfortunately, it creates envy.
yeah.
It creates envy, which is never a good thing.
That being said, I reckon the band could do a good cover of Grandmaster Flash's White Lines.
White lines.
And you get the crowd to go, "I get higher, baby,
Oh my
I,"
God.
and it could be
We could do a
louder
bit
and
of punk.
aggressive.
Could do like a punk version of it, like
Yeah, do it,
faster.
do it. It's a challenge.
Yeah, there's so many songs there. That's what I mean. I was talking about, like, if we all lived closer, it would be so much fun. Because there's so many songs you could get your teeth into. I remember seeing a punk band do a version of Britney's Toxic, Britney Spears once, and that was amazing.
Hmm.
That was fucking brilliant. I was like, well done. Like you took Britney and you've made it like urban, cool. Like it's great. I love it when people try and just spin things around a little bit.
Well, there's a band I saw called The Small Packages at Christmas time, and they're a rock band, and they do their own twist on wrestling themes from the
Really?
80s.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
they
to
do
send me a
that.
link to that.
Yeah, they're called the Small Band, and they do so basically. If you ever remember like 80s wrestling, and you hear like the Hulk Hogan theme or the Shawn Michaels theme, and they've got their guitars, they've got their drums, and they're doing like a proper rock and roll twist on it while dressed up. So it's not so like you said,
Yeah, yeah, it's like
you
a
know
twist on it.
they're doing covers,
Yeah,
but they're adding their own niche to it, and
yeah,
like with
yeah.
stuff on. But
Yeah, and it's great. Because
yeah,
you do get messages like I get messages. Like I remember a good fan of ours called Jerry Watkins. He met up with Glenn Matlock, member of the Pistols, in a pub in
the real
Cirencester.
basis.
Yeah, yeah, and
Sorry,
he
Sid,
met
we
up.
like you, but Glenn was the real
But
bassist.
he goes in this little country pub in Cirencester, and Jerry goes in there sometimes. And Jerry went in with this never needed, it said, never needed bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols t shirt on. And Glenn Matlock was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And Jerry took the t shirt off, and Glenn Matlock wrote cheeky socks on the t shirt. And like you said, tell the girls like I love it, I love what they're doing, and it was just really nice to get that like feedback. He could have
Yeah,
been really arsy about that, but he was like, yeah, he liked the spin on it. But
yeah,
yeah, it's nice. It's nice when you get positive feedback. Really, really
especially
good.
from an OG.
Yeah, definitely. He's still
Yeah,
out there. He's still doing it, Glenn. He's doing his solo shows and stuff,
yeah,
and collaborations. He's doing some nice acoustic shows. Not really good.
yeah. Well, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on the show, and I really hope to catch you guys at a show. Viewers out there, please go on their website and check out their YouTube page. If you're interested in seeing their shows, you can check out their touring schedule of the As Said webpage. Check on their YouTube if you want to know what they see and sound like, and also follow them on all platforms of social media that they are representing. But Nancy, it has been an absolute pleasure. I would love to have you back on the show in
Oh, I'd
future.
love to come back. Thank you so much for
And
easing me in gently.
oh, you're welcome. But thank you for doing this, and much gratitude, and best of luck for the future
Uh,
upcoming.
and best of luck with your podcast as well. Hope it all keeps mushrooming and growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, thank you. And
You're
likewise,
welcome. All right, take care.
will do. Keep on rocking.
Bye, everybody, and thanks for joining. Bye bye.
Bye. And to all of you, good night.